Welcome. This is what's new in version 5 of TA Roads Toolkit for Civil 3D. The ribbon follows the road workflow left to right, and version 5 adds sections and the wizard at the front. Start with the road wizard. 8 steps, and the rail on the left shows where you are. Step 1. Alignment names from a prefix and a counter with a live preview, then the layer, style, and label set. Step 2. Surface profiles. Pick the surface, then naming and styles. Step 3. Design profiles. These are built from the surface profiles with the start and end elevations matched, so you get something to edit rather than an empty profile. And they can be attached to the alignment labels in the same pass. Step 4. Profile views. Set the columns and the spacing, and they're placed for you. Pick the style and the band set, and you can adjust the bands here before anything is created. Step 5. Corridors. The assembly, the corridor and code set styles, and optionally a target surface. Then the Frequencies tab. Every frequency setting Civil 3D exposes, along tangents, curves, and spirals, and against a target, applied to every corridor you're about to build. Step 6 is the corridor surfaces. Top, datum, or both, each with its own name, style, and layer. Step 7. Sample lines. The group prefix, the interval, the swath width, and underneath, which sources each group samples, corridors, surfaces, or only the ones matching a keyword. Step 8. Section views. Naming, styles, band set, and the gap between one road sections and the next. And if you're producing sheets rather than working in model space, point it at a drawing template and choose the layout. On the last step, the button reads Create All. On any earlier step, it reads Create Up to that step, so you can stop anywhere. Then, the centerlines and 2 layout corners. And then it runs. 17 roads. Alignments, profiles, profile views, corridors, surfaces, sample lines, section views. This is real time. Nothing is sped up. "50 seconds. A drawing of polylines to cross-section views for every road in the scheme. 17 alignments, named and labeled. Profiles on each one. Profile views. Corridors with their top surfaces. Sample line groups. Section views for all of them. And every one of those steps is also a command of its own, which is what you want when the alignments already exist. Create sample lines works across a whole selection of alignments. Group prefix, interval, and width on one tab. Then the Sources tab, which is the part that matters, what each group samples. The corridors, the 10 surfaces, the corridor surfaces, all of them, or only the ones matching a keyword. In Civil 3D, that's a per group job. Here it's one dialog for the lot. Create section views does the same across sample line groups. Placement and naming, styles, and bands in one dialog. 17 groups here, and it built them in about 25 seconds. Cross sections for the whole scheme. Stationed, labeled, and ready to plot. Here's a problem you'll recognize. Sample lines created before a surface or a corridor existed never sampled it. Open the group in Civil 3D and the sections list is empty. Nothing to cut sections from. Manage Sources fixes that across every group at once. Select the groups, tick the sources you want, apply. 17 groups updated. And the same group, reopened. The existing surface, the corridor, and the corridor's top surface. All sampling now. Bands are the same story. In Civil 3D, you set a profile views bands and its properties, one view at a time. Edit bands does it across your selection. 17 views here. Set the profile keywords, and every band that needs a profile gets the right one. And back in the drawing, existing ground, finished ground, stationing, populated on every view. Profile views drift. You add a road, delete another, and what was a layout turns into a column. Organize views lays them out again. Select the views, set the columns, and the spacing apply. Same views, same drawing, one command, and the sheet makes sense again. Assign target surface sets the target on every corridor you select, instead of opening each one's properties in turn. 17 corridors, one pass, and they rebuild against the surface. And the crossings panel. Where two alignments cross, their design profiles should agree in elevation. Points table finds every crossing and checks them. This is a real scheme. 233 crossings. 33 disagree. 5 couldn't be checked at all. Green agrees. Red doesn't. Amber means a profile couldn't be read, and the tooltip tells you which one and why. Hide the valid ones, and you're left with the list that needs work. From there, label them all, create Kogo points at them, mark the invalid ones in the drawing, or export the lot to a spreadsheet. Every crossing, with the elevation difference on each row. That's version 5. TA Roads Toolkit runs on Civil 3D 2025, 2026, and 2027, and it's on the Autodesk App Store. Link in the description. Thanks for watching.